Welcome to the Crystal Coach Show with me, your host, Anahata, helping you live every day with clarity, guidance, and practical wisdom. Are you feeling overwhelmed, anxious, maybe disconnected? Do you ever feel like you don't know how to live a life of peace and joy? I am Anahata Roach, the Crystal Coach, and during this show, we channel divine wisdom through stories of service, spirituality, and stones for self-care. The Crystal Coach Show leaves you with a feeling of connection and the clarity it takes towards becoming the best version of yourself as you hear from thought leaders and many others to help you ignite the crystalline nature of who you really are. Stay tuned. The Crystal Coach Show starts now. Hello there again. Welcome to the Crystal Coach Show. I'm Anahata, and I'm so thrilled and delighted and grateful that you are here with me today. It's been kind of a challenging time for me, and when I was thinking about what I was going to talk about today, the topic of letting go really has been up in my field. So I thought it would be a good thing to talk about the importance of letting go. Um, Geez, why do we cling to all those hurtful memories? Why we just hold on to those negative ways of thinking about ourselves? If we start recognizing that we have these patterns and beliefs that keep running in the background and keep telling us things that aren't really true, um, but you can find if the program or the tape that's running, I'm dating myself, the audio that's running in the background, streaming in the background is that of self-loathing, for example. You're nothing, you're stupid, you're this is, of course they turn their backs on you, you're not worth anything. um it's really hard to overcome because it can get really loud and really frame how you think about things. And so holding on to that kind of a belief is pretty limiting. But then, there's other feelings like betrayal. Um, and you're holding on to that feeling of being stabbed in the back and how awful that was and how hurtful that was. And what does it do? It doesn't do anything to the other person. It does a lot energetically to you. Another way that you can see it pull up is in grief. And God knows I have had my share of grief in the past 3 years. And I might cry today. um, it's the grief that comes up is almost like so like an attachment to the past or the way it was or when that person was there live in front of you giving you a hug. Yeah. uh, I've just been in this kind of emotional seesaw the last week. I guess because it was recently Mother's Day, and I lost my mom 2 Thanksgivings ago. And she always made sure, even though I would always make sure she was um, thanked and loved on that day, she always seemed to send me the same feeling because when I got to be a mom, she was very proud. Um, so I'm really kind of feeling that grief right now, and I've been working on letting go because I know that she's in a better place and she's not in pain and she's happy. And I've actually, as an empath, um, I've felt her. I felt her, and so I know that her soul lives on. She hasn't disappeared together, but it's still hard to let that go. Um, But when you hold on to that, you get kind of stuck in the past and you can't move forward. And so grief can it can help you clear out what needs to be processed. But if you are stuck there in a place where you can't move forward, then that's not in your highest good. Another thing is perfectionism. Gosh, I'm also accused of that. um, but I've been doing a lot of work on myself for all these years, and that letting go of the need to be perfect, letting go of the need to control everything. Listen, it's an illusion anyway. But for me, one of the most important things that I've been able to do is let go of this need to manage and micromanage everything. Like for today, I I'm gonna let spirit talk to me. I mean, talk through me, because um usually I script myself out. I'm not doing it today. There's just a reason that we got to talk about the importance of letting go today. And sometimes I find that when I do readings for clients, the messages that are coming through are also relevant to me. So spirit speaks to us in many, many ways, uh, but we're all reflections of one another, and all mirrors for each other. And when we're reflecting um, an energy of perfectionism or grief or self-loathing or betrayal, even attachments to expectations. Okay. So like we get all excited because we know that we're going to do this thing, and it's going to come out this way, and we're so excited, and we just know everything's going to be just like we had envisioned it and planned, and we get attached to it emotionally. you know like I meet you know I'm married. I've been married for 28 years, but you meet a guy, and or a gal or whoever, there's a special someone that really you go, oh, this is the one. This is the one. And you get attached to the idea that this person is a one. And people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, but we don't know until we kind of get into the relationship what that's going to look like. But yet, if you're attached to this need to be married or need to be co-partnered with someone, you're setting up an expectation that could lead to just bitter disappointment, and then you get stuck there, right? So, maybe not as good an idea as it might look like. It's not quite as good as you might think. You just need to live more days in the present. We spend so much time, just like being stuck in the past or projecting out into the future, that life just passes us by. Why would we do that? We're not even conscious of how we default to the same reactions over and over and over again. What would happen really if we continue to run these negative belief programs? Well, we get stuck in behaviors and expectations that are consistently keeping us locked in the disappointment and in ourselves and in others and in life too. If we don't find a way to let go, well, there's a lot of consequence to that. I mean, it can even have health issues, um and I know I had a client once that I helped her move. I mean, she'd had cancer, and she'd beat it, but then it had come back, and I was helping her to clear off, the stuff that was there. And when I was working with her, the crystals that were on her bodies, I was like saying to her, there's a big issue with you needing to let go and forgive. And, you know, because that's like that energy is causing a lot of dis-ease in your body. And it might be, one of the reasons why you keep attracting cancer to you. She said, no, I can never forgive. And as soon as she said that, I had this awful feeling that she was never going to get better. And guess what? She transitioned because she kept that bitterness. She kept that being unable to move away or move past whatever was. I had no idea what it was that had kept her in this place of what she had to forgive. And, when you're forgiving, it's not about giving the other person a pass or ignoring that. It has to do with, um, well, I had a thought and then it went away. It has to do more with you, with letting go of that attachment to that person did this to me, and finding more compassion for yourself and finding the forgiveness within yourself as a way to um, move on for that. But when I'm talking about forgiveness, I'm not talking about, you know, condoning what happened. It could be horrible, it could be terrible. But the only person that you can control in this lifetime is your own way of perceiving yourself and the world around you. So forgiveness, if you can, it keeps you, it helps you to let go. Yeah. It helps you to move on. Um, and let's see. Oh, yeah. Well, we talked about being disappointed when your expectations aren't met. And oh, yeah, you can start to be really resentful of other people if you're holding something in your heart that you haven't been able to let go of. When we're going to break here for a minute. I've also had an idea that I'd like to offer for people that are watching this live. And I'll follow up with that and let you know what this offer is and how you could maybe try to get it. But when we come back, we're going to go to a break. And when we come back, I'm going to talk about what could happen if you just let go of those old emotional mind loops and be your best self. We'll be back in a minute. Hi there. Welcome back to The Importance of Letting Go on the Crystal Coach Show with Anahata, me. So we were talking about all the other, the consequences of what happens when you let go, when you hold on to things. And so now I'd like to address what would happen if you could let go of all those emotional mind loops, right? I've got some examples of people that have worked with me that have been able to clear out things like abuse or about the whole unworthiness aspect, all kinds of different things that they were holding on to. Grief, even grief, clearing grief actually helps you just kind of start to live your life again. And this one particular client I'm thinking about, she was kind of stuck in the loss of her husband, uh, and who was her soulmate. And she just really couldn't move on. And we worked on clearing all of that grief out of her. And she is now like amazing. She's starting a new job. She actually manifested a new house for herself. I mean, she did a vision board, and I mean, I couldn't believe how things were just starting to come to her. And it was just it's almost like, oh, wow, that's a miracle. but it's really the shift in your energy. If you can imagine walking around with a just like shrouded in gray fog, how is the light getting to you, you know? But if you can lift that fog and clear it out, then you are open to the light. You're open to all that the universe can bring to you. The universe wants us to be happy. We are here to experience what we would desire. But we have all of these filters and all of these other emotional programs that are in the way that prevent us from really feeling that, feeling that we're deserving of that, feeling that we are capable of attracting or manifesting something that we really in our heart desire. I mean, this woman described to me the kind of house she wanted, what kind of setting it was in. You know, she didn't have it down to this is a two-story house made of brick, kind of thing. No, but she had this idea that she wanted to live in a beautiful park-like setting. And she loves to kayak, and she wanted to be near water, and she wanted to have a house that was big enough where she could have an office and all this sort of stuff. But she didn't, at that time, she didn't know where the capital was going to come from for her to do this. But she trusted that, in the right time that things would happen. And she also, this is a very, very important part of manifesting. She let it go of the attachment to the outcome. Yeah. She was able to desire this and ask for help from the universe in bringing it to her. But then she didn't worry about it afterwards. She went on about her life. Well, lo and behold, I mean, it wasn't even 3 months later, this money came. She found a house, and then it was like in a subdivision that had a lake, and she could take her kayak. I mean, it was everything that she'd asked for. It was really incredible. Um, and then there was another lady that I've worked with that um, has seen, incredible transformation for her, um, going through a very, very, very difficult and really not traumatic divorce. And it had really just totally stripped her of any kind of self-esteem. And her belief in herself was just in the toilet, really. So we worked through clearing out that program that she was attached to, the fact that she had a failed marriage and she had these children, but then there was all of this other mess. And you know we worked together for quite a while, and she is an amazing, amazing person. And I absolutely love to talk about the transformation that she went through after she was able to let go of that attachment to feeling less than or worthless. Um, and she became her own person. She's a brilliant mind. She's, really kind of in a forefront field of what she does. And she's now, keynote speaking. She's doing, I mean, she's got this job that it was just amazing. She just has this energy that is so different from the person that I first met. So these are examples that I'm trying to give to you, that it does work. If you clear it out, there's room for you to be who your best self, and to live your purpose here in this world. I mean, as souls, we all have a purpose. It's large, small, or whatever. It's a purpose. And sometimes we just get in our own way, right? Let's see. There's somebody else I was going to talk about. Oh, I remember. So I had another client who had held on to this resentment against her husband for 40 years. 40 years she'd been carrying around this resentment. And we worked to clear it. And she does her own work. There's not one magic silver bullet, people. I can help do other stuff too, right? So, well, I'm just giving you examples of how things really can be turned around. But anyway, she's done, work with me. She's also worked with a therapist, and other ways of moving energy. And she is a different person. And her relationship with her husband is completely different, wonderfully different. And they're closer now than they have ever been. So you see what I'm saying, that uh, whether it's an issue with your family that you're holding on to, or an issue with a traumatic experience, or an issue with how you feel about yourself, that can be changed. You don't have to continue holding on. You can learn to let go. Hmm. Oh, yeah. I wanted to give you an example, a personal example. So my husband and I were traveling. We had a rental car, and we were going around the Grand Canyon. We had been on the South Rim, and then we were going to drive to the North Rim. And we'd never done this before. It was just, we were out there in the middle of big sky country. It was gorgeous. But we didn't have plans for how we were going to, it was going to take us more than a day to get to the North Rim. And we hadn't planned for where we were going to stay and what we were going to do for that night, right? And for some reason, I didn't have an attachment for it. Now, me, the control freak, wanted to have this I was like, I have to have everything lined up. Well, it didn't happen. And for some reason, I guess it was because I had been doing my work. I was like, we'll figure it out. And we just, I just went with the flow. And believe it or not, I was able to get Wi-Fi or a cell service in the middle of nowhere. And I did a Google search, found a little place that a little lodge that was nearby. And I said, well, I booked a night there. But what was so funny for me, it was this revelation of, when you let go of an expectation of an outcome, it's so freeing. I know my husband thought I was nuts. I was so excited. I said, do you know how free it is? And he's just like, yeah, but it is. Oh my goodness. Anyway, when we come back, I'm going to take another break because I've got some stones I want to show you that can help you, support you on your journey to letting go. I've also got some ways in which you can let go, stuff that you can do. And I will have a giveaway that I'll tell you how you can enter to win the giveaway, which is a chakra line clearing from me, which really is high value. It's an hour. And we go through all of your chakras and clear out something that's stuck with you that you'd like to clear with you in a person, you in a place, you in a situation, whatever it is. We can go through from the root to the crown and clear out any kind of emotional block that's between you and that person or situation or thing. And people love it and have had really good success with that going forward. So we'll talk about that when we come back from the break. Hi there, and welcome back to the Crystal Coach Show with me, Anahata. Um, so now that we've talked about the importance of letting go, and if you can acknowledge your feelings, you can talk about it and practice forgiveness, focus on the present, uh, and just take care of yourself. I mean, that's the easiest thing to do for that you don't have to do any kind of ritual or anything, but that helps that helps ease the process of letting go. But it's so important because if you hold on to that, you increase that stress and anxiety that is like, I don't know, really causing a lot of bad hormonal cortisol or whatever, to kind of flow. And that's bad for your heart and all of this other stuff. So yeah, you don't want to have stress and anxiety. And also it helps you improve your relationships. Uh, I mean, if you hold on to, you have relationship issues. If you let go, it improves them, right? And then also this resilience thing, this able, like I was talking about a minute ago, about um, the excitement about how freeing it was to not have any expectations. So being able to go with the flow rather than, oh God, this is the worst thing that could ever happen. Oh, and you get stuck on that rather than seeing, well, how can we find a way out of this? Or yeah, okay, well, it didn't happen this way. Well, maybe it can happen this way. Let's just like flowing, just going with the flow, right? So anyway, what I wanted to talk to you now about is I want you to really think about this for a minute. What are you holding on to that doesn't serve you anymore? There's got to be at least one. There's one thing that you're holding on to that you know is not good for you. Here's a way that you can maybe let it go. Now, for example, you can actually make a ritual out of this, a releasing ritual, right? You can get a candle, carve in like a symbol or initials or whatever it needs to be to remind you or represent to you what you want to let go. Um, you come to it with the idea of letting go. You come to it with gratitude for a way that you can let it go. And you light the candle and you thank the experience to release it. You thank the experience. Was it a good one? No. But, it's caused you to grow and to experience the emotion, but you don't have to hold on to it. Right? Some would say we come as immortals, we come into this mortal realm to experience the bitterness of life. I think we come in here to experience the joy in material form. So anyway, so you can carve this candle. It doesn't have to be a big one. It could be a tall, little skinny candle, or it could be a little votive, or one of these little candle things, little couple inches. But whatever works for you, whatever you're called to do, you can burn that. And when it's all burned through, at least when it's burned past the symbol that you've carved into it, then the fire has transmuted it and you have let it go. Also, using fire, you can write it on a piece of paper. If you can just write down all what you're holding on to and why, and all of the emotions that are attached to that, and all of the resentment or frustration or anger or whatever it is that you need to let go of, you could write about it and then put the paper in a place that's safe to burn and literally let it burn. Just burn it and make sure all of the pieces are burned to just the ash. And when you're done, when you have ashes, and you take the ashes out and bury them in Mother Earth so she can take them and transpose them to transmute them to compost. Ha, pretty easy. So that's one. And that's a kind of a visceral way to release. Another way is through meditation. And that's that takes some effort, right? Because you're trying to meditate. I would recommend a guided meditation so that you're not left with your own thoughts. So you're listening to somebody else kind of guide you through the process, because unless you're really skilled at meditation, um, and being able to come into a still point with the idea that you can release that which no longer serves you, it's going to be difficult. So meditation is an option, but if you're new at this, I would go with the visceral stuff, right? Um, then, there's also getting it energetically cleared out of your body by working with an emotional clearing practitioner, such as myself or anyone else. But that way is a very effective way of plucking that program out of the infinite pool that keeps generating waves of behavior patterns and thoughts and reality and programs, right? So if you're looking for, well, okay, Anahata, you talked about it's important and I agree, but I don't know how to do this. There's a couple of 3 ways. And then, as always, in my last part of my talks, I always talk about what stones or crystals could be used to support you if you're wanting to release or let go. There's a lot of different ones. In fact, it was funny because I had written down in my notes which ones I wanted to bring out today. And when I went to go get them, I picked up all but one. I picked up different ones. So they're just different, right? You find one that you're drawn to and use it, whether it says in a book somewhere that that's the way you're supposed to use it. I would always trust my body. Always trust my body. The first one that for me is one of the biggest tools that I use and for myself and for other people in truly, I mean, the buzzword here is letting go, is aquamarine. Aquamarine is this beautiful blue crystal beryl that is a water element. Water is your emotional body. So it helps to rinse out or release that which doesn't serve if you are intending for that. But working with aquamarine, whether it's a big piece like what I've got in my hand or a very, very small piece, it's the same frequency. Okay. Just if it's big, it's louder. It's not any higher a frequency. It's the same frequency, whether it's a little bitty chip or it's a big piece. Okay. So releasing works great when you have the support of a aquamarine. Another one that I pulled out was thinking about perfectionism and the need to control. For me, and in my work, what is it? Malachite, and I'll hold it up to the camera, even though those of you that are listening can't see it. It's a beautiful green stone, and it has these lovely striations on it. It's like lace or something, but it's really beautiful. And the frequency of malachite is that of letting go and letting God. It's like releasing your will to the divine so that, it can help you to let go of this need to control. So with perfectionism, I use malachite, and it's helped me a great deal. Another stone that I pulled out is moonstone. So moonstone is this beautiful feldspar it's got these beautiful flashes of light and um, rainbows and such. Actually, this is a raw piece. And so I I use moonstone for reminding myself that things happen in divine time. It's the moonstone is all about cycles and timing and divine time, and not necessarily our timeline, what we would like. So see, you get stuck on an attachment of it. Something has to happen in a certain timeline. And they say that when we make plans, God laughs, but I don't know. Sometimes plans go just great, and sometimes there's bumps in the road. But Moonstone helps you to kind of cope with that, to go with the flow, and to understand that things are always happening in the perfect time. Okay. Then the last thing I picked up is, and I couldn't find my big piece, is a piece of hematite. So hematite is an earth element. This is a stone that has this frequency of be here now, be present, manifest your light. Don't scatter it. Don't scatter it out. Don't project it out in the future. Hold on to the past, but be here now. And anytime that I need to get my head out of my crown, my mind out of the up here, I'll hold on to a piece of hematite, and it really helps me to get back into my body and feel much more present for myself and for others. So these are ways in which you can use stones to support you in letting go of things that no longer serve you. And so speaking of that, I talked about the chakra line clear. And so if you would like to be eligible to win a free hour chakra line clear with me, I would like for you to please, and now this is only for the live stream. It's not for the replay. Sorry, guys. But if you're listening live and you would like to experience a chakra line clear from me, I can do this remotely. We would do it on Zoom. Then send an email to me to mycrystalcoach@gmail.com. Mycrystalcoach@gmail.com. And the 10th person that sends me, I want one, I will choose and get back with you, let you know. Okay. So thank you so much for being and joining with me today and being here. And I hope that together we can get through this heaviness and this sadness and let go so that we can be free. Until next time. I'm Anahata Roach, the Crystal Coach, and this is the Crystal Coach Show. See you. Bye. Hey, everybody. Guess what I did? I thought I was done. I thought I was wrapping up. I was saying goodbye. Thanks for being here. I have 10 more minutes to talk to you. How about that? So cool. I thought, to kind of bring things home, I would tell you a little bit more about how you could work with me if if you're drawn to work with me, especially around emotional clearing. I am a certified practitioner, advanced practitioner actually, of a modality called the spiral. And it is one of the most efficient ways I've ever found to just cut the cord of the emotional program, just delete it. And so, you may get a trigger and it starts back up, but there's nothing for that program to attach to. And it just goes. And it's been a lifesaver for me. And it's been really one of the ways in which I have found that the letting go process is so much easier. And also, just as an FYI, I've mentioned that I've been struggling lately. I have an energy worker I go to. I have someone who's incredible, and but everybody needs somebody, and if you are working with somebody that get doesn't get have a teacher or a therapist or a body worker or a massage, just somebody that they go to offload the stuff that they are carrying, I would really be careful about working with that person because they must be holding on to a whole lot of stuff. And do you really want that person working on you? No, I wouldn't. But at any rate, I do my own processing, and I see people that help me do that. But for you, if you've never even considered doing any kind of energy work, this isn't this is a good way to start. And as I say, it's a very efficient way to start uh, learning more about yourself, what you've been carrying. Sometimes the body is holding on to things that we just don't we're not conscious of it. We don't know, we don't remember, we don't have a clue. And we're going, really? That? Huh. But once it's cleared, my goodness, it's like a new day. And it's not something that happens overnight. It it takes a while for those echo ripples that have been going out there in all throughout your life, these behavior patterns that keep showing up. It's because the original program is still pulsing. But when you take that original program and delete it, there's still these echo ripples that have been already been generated. So it takes some time to everything to clear out. But it's just um an incredible way to find a new you, find a new way of living, a new way of thinking, a new way of being in your body. It's mm, yeah. So I do that. I also do crystal resonance therapy, which is a way in which I can connect to your energy field or your body. If I do in person, I don't hardly do any in-person sessions anymore. I'm mostly online, but I connect to your energy field. I see it as the body's like on the table, and your energy field, your body's energy tells me what stones it wants where. And so we work to place those stones and then put all of the energy of like this high vibration of love into all of those stones. It's like dominoes. It just kind of goes up and down and it connects because the minerals in the body and the minerals and stones and crystals are the same, right? So you get a vibrational match when the stone is in the field of the body. And the energy, the dense energy that's stuck in us can't stay stuck when you've got this overriding energy of love. And it's all of this connection in the body and the stone, they're all vibrating. And with permission, then do you really want to release this? If you say yes, the last bit of that energy goes, and it's like the opera singer with the crystal goblet, right? Shatters, been moved off. And hey, your energy tank's refilled, your aura's repaired, and you feel like a million bucks. So I do that. I also do intuitive readings with cards that are the energies of crystals and stones, as well as elements. And, there's various ways in which you can get a reading from me. All of that's on my website. That is https thecrystalcoach.com. And so if you'd like to, find out more about me and or book a session with me, all you have to do is go to thecrystalcoach.com and you'll find me. And I'm working on making a more of a presence on my social media platforms. I'm revamping my LinkedIn. I've got help with getting things put together, memes and reels and stuff for Instagram and Facebook. So eventually I'll get my act together. But at any rate, I'm really so very proud that I have been given this opportunity by Transformation Talk Radio to have this venue, this way in which to connect with you and to share my stories and how the spirituality that comes through me and the stones that are part of my work in my life. And I'm hoping that you all will be finding useful energy, a useful information from what I talk about. I try to talk from my heart, and sometimes it works and sometimes it's a little. But I just don't ever worry about that. I mean, like I got real sexy and said goodbye to you on the third break. But I'm actually going to really say goodbye to you this time. And remember, if you would like to receive a chakra line clear from me, you can send an email to mycrystalcoach.com, and it's only for people that listened today. And so mycrystalcoach.com, send me an email. I'll pick the 10th email that comes in. So good luck. And thank you again for being here. I'll see you next time on the Crystal Coach Show, first and third Mondays of the month. Yep. Bye-bye for now. You have been listening to the Crystal Coach Show, helping you live every day with clarity, guidance, and practical wisdom. With me, your host, Anahata. Tune in every first and third Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time on TransformationTalkRadio.com, where we channel divine wisdom through stories of service, spirituality, and stones for self-care. Feel connected and reside in the vibration of love on The Crystal Coach Show. For more information and to become the best version of yourself, visit thecrystalcoach.com. That's thecrystalcoach.com. See you next time.